Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lessons, Learning, and Readings with Larkin. I am Larkin, live to you from the United States, here with all of my animals here at home today. I have my wonderful Denise Lynn Oracle cards. You can see it says Sacred Forest. She's a dimension walker, just like myself, so I love and trust her cards, and I share these with you all on Monday and Tuesdays. And I want to welcome you all to a sacred hour with me, where I'm going to be holding space for you. And we're going to talk to your spirit teams. We're going to bring in messages, guidance, and wisdom from spirit. And for this hour, I want to let you know that there are no holes barred. So anything spiritual, paranormal, or metaphysical you guys have questions about, maybe you want to know how angels work, or how dreams work, or about your spirit guides. I have a Meet Your Spirit Guides event coming up. Maybe you want to talk about prayer or your path. Maybe you want mediumship readings from humans or non-human animals. Maybe you want to talk about, different aspects of metaphysical that you're learning on. Maybe you want psychic readings. All of this stuff is available to you during this sacred hour we're spending together today. Okay. I always like to take the first few minutes to bring in message from spirit that spirit asked me to do before each broadcast, as well as taking the time to welcome everyone and sort of let you know how I do things. I think I do things a little bit differently in my readings. I've also been a mindset coach for 15 years. So it's very important that we integrate our spirit and metaphysical work with our own self-control and mindset work in order to get the best results. So I take a little time to kind of set those processes in motion for you and explain how I do things. Martha, Penny, welcome. Paul, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, a big thank you to Veronica for inviting me to do readings on here and letting me have this sacred hour with you. Okay. Don't forget, if you like this broadcast today, make sure that you go ahead and like it so more people know how to find it and to find FindMeAMedium more easily, since Veronica has some amazing, so many amazing readers on here. Okay. I'd like to invite you all. It's time for me to set up some new incense here to set your sacred space. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's another name I can't read. Myriad, is that right? Dolores, welcome. Melissa, Helen Marshall. So great to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in. If you want to connect with me further, you guys can see my banner down there with my Facebook page. But I'm going to lead by example. For those of you who have never been with me before here, for this sacred hour, I invite you all to really make the most of it and allow yourselves to leave all of your baggage at the door just for 1 hour, and to set the ambiance for yourself, to set the mood for your senses so that your nervous system can calm down. You can focus on what we're doing here. You can be open. That means relaxed and breathe in your center. And it's okay if you don't know what that means, but this allows you to better receive. So no matter what may come through for you, through me today, doesn't mean you're going to be open to receiving it, right? So you want to make sure that you're comfortable. I have 3 or 4 drinks with me. You have something to drink, that you're leaving your baggage at the door. Maybe you have crystals or candles or wax you're burning. Perhaps you have, sacred little pictures or things around, something special to drink, candles and incense, whatever sets the mood for you during this hour together, okay, is exceedingly important that you guys, make this a sacred hour for yourselves, because spirit can always see you and sense you and is always there for you, but you're not always open to receiving it because your mind gets in the way. Okay. So this is an opportunity to set the mind aside and just be present with us. Okay. Casey, hello. Great to see you. All right. So we're going to start with the message that spirit has for you guys today. Please remember that Spirit has asked me before I start each broadcast to share a general message with you all. And this means that, remember, Spirit knows who is on these lives. Spirit knows who's here. They know who needs what. You like my little owl earrings, by the way? A wife of a good friend of mine sent these. They're hand-carved little owls. And the owls are one of my animal totems. So you guys can have those present with you if you want as well. Hello, Rachel. Good to see you. But Spirit has asked me to please share with you. And remember that Spirit knows who's here. And so the messages that come through are going to serve most of you. That means we'll need to hear whatever message comes through. Also, there are messages that will come through readings and answers today that even if I'm not specifically speaking to you, Spirit will be sharing messages that serve more than just the person that I'm reading for. Okay. Allison Plumley, you love owls. Wonderful. Me too. Thank you. They're hand carved. So they're wonderful. Makes me feel like I've really physically got these little spirit guides with us here. Okay. So the message today that we have from Spirit, and I'm not surprised at this because Susie and Tara and I just did our Angels in Action on StreamYard. And one of the powerful things that came through and people were asking about was letting go. How to get over people or things that we've lost. And so we were talking about letting go. And what Spirit is asking me to share with you all before we get started with readings today is the importance, the significance, the sacredness of letting go. And although I'm not going to talk about it as much as I did on Angels in Action, I think this is super important, and I want to share with you what Spirit wants me to share with you at this moment, okay? Letting go is as easy as this. Letting go is as easy as this. Now, it doesn't seem easy because, as Spirit is saying to me, your human minds and egos get in the way. Your mind and ego wants to control and hang on for security. It's scary to let go. But the more ways Spirit is sharing with me that you all can practice letting go, whether it's letting go of control in a conversation with someone, or letting go of an item while you're cleaning out, or perhaps it's letting go of a belief that you have that you no longer serves you. I need sugar. I need sugar. I need the cigarette. I need the cigarette. Okay. Letting go is powerful and is valuable. Spirit wants you to know as receiving or getting. When you let go, you also receive. When you let go, you're also receiving. When you clean out or let go or anything like that, you're actually gaining because the universe is always in balance. Okay. So just remember, although this may not seem easy, the only thing that makes letting go hard is your beliefs, your mind, and your habit. Your beliefs are repeated thoughts. Thoughts are synonymous with mind, as Eckhart Tolle says. So really what we're talking about here is it's important for you to learn to, letting go is the easiest possible thing. Look, all I got to do is let go. Okay. What makes it hard? Whoops, there goes my lipstick. Hold on. What makes it hard is our beliefs and our fear of what it means to let go, because we are taught that when we let go, we're losing, okay? When actually you're creating space and gaining as well, okay? So thank you all for listening, and please take that to heart. I hope you took notes. Letting go is powerful, and it makes space for the things that you want. So for a lot of you today who will be asking me for psychic readings and things like that, just know that letting go is a big part of that. And oftentimes, like if we don't choose to let go on our own, life forces us to let go, right? And then we have to deal with that. So learning to let go and making that a habit, a way of life is very powerful. And understanding it's part of the balance of life, and it's going to happen regardless. So whether you choose to let go or whether life forces you to let go, maybe you lose items in a flood or someone breaks up with you or someone passes away. It's more comfortable in life if you learn to make it a way of life and a way of choice. You learn to choose to let go. Okay. And for a lot of you that are wanting to manifest, that are going to be asking me today, when is this coming? When am I moving? Why hasn't this happened? Just know that in letting go and intentionally creating space, a lot of times that's why things haven't come into your life and manifested yet. Perhaps there's some old energy or thoughts, beliefs, or habits, or something physical that you need to let go of in order for that to happen. Okay. All right. Hello, Melissa, Caroline, welcome. All right, so I'm going to go where Spirit is asking me to go today, as usual. So if you do not get a reading, please know it is nothing personal, okay? It is just I'm going where Spirit wants me to go, and Spirit knows who needs a reading right now, who needs it the most, who is ready to receive, and Spirit's never going to forget you, okay? And I'm not going to forget you either. But the point is that Spirit will choose whoever's time it is to get the reading, right? You'll get your reading in just the right time from just the right reader. And if you don't get one from me today, then Veronica has the most amazing readers on here I've ever seen, and they're on every day of the week. And I'm on again at this time tomorrow. And you can also find me on my Facebook page. I do live readings at events all week long as well. Okay. Let's see. Angel, welcome. Myriad, I hope I'm saying your name right. It may be Myriad. I see the little Exante goo there. My name has that in it too, Larkin Lene. All right, so I'm shuffling these cards. You guys might not all need cards. I tend to use those more when people are just wanting a general reading. Let's see, and good to see you again, Paul. Welcome. Let's see here. Hello, Larkin, and all from Pennsylvania. Anyway, I can talk to my dogs. Both had passed on. Lucky girl and lucky boy. Both are border collies. Oh my God. Okay, so on Friday, I do Furball Fridays. I didn't do it last week, but I do Furball Fridays, which is just an hour dedicated just to dogs. I'm sorry, just to non-human animals. So you guys can always join me there for that too, for animal readings, animal mediumship, animal communication, and all that good stuff. I had a border collie, Paul. I freaking love them, and I got the border collie after I lived in Scotland. And I was watching two border collies and an Australian Shepherd herd. There was a gentleman speaking Gaelic to them, and they went all the way up this hill. They're not mountains, they're hills, and brought down this herd of sheep, divided it into 4 sections until they got one baby that had been injured out of it, and herded her onto the truck. I had tears in my eyes. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And after that, I came home and got a border collie, and they're just amazing. And I'm glad to know you had 2. I don't know if they were 2 together at the time, but border collies need other border collies in order to really be able to play, because they think unlike any other dog. For anyone that says they're just like Australian Shepherds, they're not. Anyway, let's tune into your dogs first to get started here, and then we'll get going. Oh my gosh, Penny's from New Zealand. How exciting. I love it. Haven't seen someone from New Zealand in a while on here. Fantastic. All right, let's see. Oh my God. Wow. So they are bopping along, Paul. They're bouncing along together and playing. I'm gonna describe to you where I see them at the moment. Actually, I see them on beautiful, like, okay, so on the other side, the colors are just magnificent, guys. I mean, the colors are, I can't even describe. Like, you take this color green and it would just be iridescent. The colors are so much more brilliant and beautiful than they are here, that we can see with our own human eyes even. And they're bopping along and playing together and running and joyfully. They're both very well. Let's see. It looks like, let's see. So trying to describe this right. So it looks like the one, it looks like the smaller one actually. So was it the female? Did she have like super long hairs coming out of her ears? or did her ears look like super big because her head was small? There's something about her ears she's showing me. Her ears really stand out. And then I'm also seeing it looks like a little more like it looks like one had much more like clear defined colors and markings on his face than the other one. The other one had more of like a design and patterns on their face. They are so excited, and the energy of a border collie that's bouncy and excited and boisterous and always ready to go and work and play. That is the energy that they bring to you today, Paul. And yes, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing black and white, and wow, I just love them so much. Let's see. You have Mrs. Holly. Is Mrs. Holly a border collie as well? Let me know. They just want to thank you for letting them be themselves. Animals have souls, Paul, and their souls knew you. I check in to see. That's why you see me looking back and forth. Not all animal souls know the humans that they're going to come and be with, but your two knew. They knew you. You guys planned to come together, and their souls were allowed to shine and be real here. They grounded you in this world. So know that dogs have a very grounding effect on us human beings, especially those of us like yourself who are, we're sensitives, we're empathic, we connect strongly with animals, which means we're also connecting with non-physical. We're in touch with our intuition, and we're very empathic people. It's very good for us to have dogs because they really ground us in this world and keep us, they make sure we keep that one foot on the ground, right? So that we're not only, we're not just up in the clouds all the time, right? Okay. So yeah, a lot of walking. Excellent. That's one of their favorite things. So when you're walking with your dog, they feel a bonding because dogs, other than like the lap dogs that have been bred to be lap dogs are, they're migratory animals like wolves and coyotes. So they need that moving. Their brain and nervous system is actually set up for that. So this is why, if those of you that have dogs, if you keep your dogs at home and you don't let them out much, or you only take them out to pee and make them come in, they don't have a yard and they're like working dogs, they're not just bred to be lap dogs, they will develop stress and anxiety. They will not be happy because, hi, Callie from Mississippi. They have to have that migratory, that movement. I used to walk my border collie at least twice a day. We did training, we did agility, we'd go for runs. I'd let her go play in the creek. Like, she had to get out and about. We spent hours, most of our days outside, actually, in the backyard. So that's very important. 12 years old. Oh, so this is very important because, she's feeling, hey, from Sweden, Monica, she is feeling, that bond with you like a pack, like a herd, which is what she really needs as well. Let's see. I do not know how to say your name. Akasina. Let me know if that's right. 12 years old. Oh, wonderful. So here's the other thing, Paul, is that the dog souls, they also pass on their wisdom and their knowledge to the other animals that you have. So I am glad that a lot of people don't want to go and get other pets. They don't want to get, if they lose a dog or a cat, they don't want to go get another one. And I want you guys to know, I share this on Furball Fridays, that's our own ego and our own culture telling us not to do that, causing us to feel guilt. I'm very grateful that you did that, because you're never replacing an animal, guys. You're never replacing them. What you're doing is you're taking the sacred space that your furry family members before them made and held for them, for another animal that wanted and needed a home, or that was meant to come to you. And so when you bring another animal into your home after losing one, or after one is crossed over, you never really lose them. What you're actually doing is you're honoring that sacred space that the non-human animal that you had before either created or held for them. Okay, so that is a sacred space that is then it created. So it's an honor the animals that have passed on love and honor that they want you to get another animal to come into that space. So I'm so glad, Paul, that you did that. I'm not surprised, as intuitive as you are, that you did. Please know that your loved ones on the other side, your dogs on the other side, are always present with you. They're loving you. They're loving the girl that you have now, and they can connect. Their souls and energy connect. They all know one another. But that grounding energy is important, and the intelligence and interaction that you have from a border collie is important as well. That is a very that's a perfect frequency for you, and you do a good job of allowing her to have the mental and emotional stimulation and partnership that she wants. That's super important as well. Let's see here. Just know that all is well. All is well with them, and they do know how much you appreciated and loved and adored them. They loved you very much as well. Okay, so they're there with you as well. Let's see, do they go to Rainbow Heaven? What a good question. So again, I invite you guys to join me for Furball Fridays on my Facebook page, which is posted down here if you want to know more about animals. But yes, they do. So they actually go to the same heaven we do. They don't go to a separate heaven or reality that we do. Think about it. Would heaven be heaven if you showed up and your animals weren't there? Okay. The Christian-based societies, often, I think this is where this came from, kind of separate out the heaven, but it's not. There is no separation. Heaven is not a place, it's a state of being. So when we go to the other side and we do end up in places, right, in realities, we're there with all of our loved ones, including our non-human animal friends who, yes, also have souls. So we say the Rainbow Bridge. I'm okay with that, but essentially they go through a similar process that we do when they cross over. They just don't have the ego that they have to get rid of, like we do. And so yeah, I mean, we're all there together. You were all there together before you came into this world. You'll be there when you go to the other side. And they're right there with you. I mean, I look at, like my pets are there with my grandmother on the other side. They all love one another. They all take care of one another. And togetherness is part of that concept, that collective love, right? And that's what it is. No soul is greater or lesser than anyone else. And although humans like to think we're all high and mighty and better, we're not. We're not. And animals come with a purpose and a reason, just like we do. They are sacred and loved, just like we are. And so, yes, they will be there waiting for you and your sweet girl now on the other side when you both cross back into non-physical. Okay. So thank you for sharing that with me, Paul, and letting me read for you. I love that. Let's see here. Larkin, July 13th was the specific date given for Spirit to grant my wish. Is there a reason it does not happen? Yes. And Casey, I know sometimes you notice that I sort of take things a different direction when you start to ask me about times and dates and all of that. Okay. I know there were predictions I gave you where I said, oh, by the new year, this and that'll happen. And then you came back to me and said, why didn't it happen? Okay. So two things, okay? And forgive me if I sound like I'm lecturing, but I'm also speaking from Spirit, and Spirit wants me to be very, very clear with this, okay? And so I thank you for bringing this up for everyone. First of all, I've been doing predictive readings my entire life, okay? I don't like to do it. The reason I don't like to do it, but I can do it, is because it's such an ego thing. Sorry, guys, but it is. When you guys come and you're wanting people to tell you when is something going to happen? What's the date? Is it going to happen? I will do it, and I do it for readings. But if you notice, I always do it with a grain of salt. And the reason is because I want to give you honest and authentic readings. Wanting to know what is going to happen and when it's going to happen is not spirit. There's nothing spiritual about that. It's a completely egoic thing, because the ego is always in the past and the future, Spirit is always outside of space and time in the present. Okay. Now, some of you might go, oh my God, I don't like Larkin's readings anymore. Why is she saying that? I'm getting off of this broadcast. We are so conditioned to think that, that we have to know what's going to happen and what choice we need to make before we make it. Spirit wants to say to you guys, why? This is a complete ego thing that you want and need to know this. So, Casey, what Spirit is sharing with me right now is you are too attached. And I will tell you this from reading for you for months. You are too attached to needing to know what is going to happen and when. And I don't blame you for that. I am too. We all are as people because we have egos. And our ego feels secure if we think we know what's going to happen because it helps take away our fear and insecurity. But here's the thing. Even when you know something, you don't really know it. Let's say that you signed a deed on a house and you purchased a house and you're like, I know for sure that I'm going to move in on August 20th because I signed the deed. This is the move-in date. I know it. Do you really know it? Do you really know anything? You don't. Nothing is ever set in stone. And Spirit, every time I do a psychic reading, Spirit reminds me to remind all of you, nothing is set in stone. There are infinite realities in the quantum world. There are infinite possibilities. And as I've explained to you guys before, I don't know that most readers do it this way, or maybe most readers just aren't aware of this. But when I do a predictive reading, I see a series. I see the most likely thing happen right here in front of me. And then I see two other things on the other side of that most likely thing that's going to happen. And then from then on either side, I see infinite possibilities that stream away from me that are less likely. And so I always share the number one most likely thing and or sometimes two or three. And then I tell people what I am being shown they need to do for those different outcomes. Okay. But what Spirit wants me to share with you, Casey, only because you get so much anxiety from, you rely so much, Casey, on needing and wanting to know what's going to happen on dates you get caught up on. Okay. Just because you were given a specific date doesn't mean it was the outcome you thought it was going to be. Okay. And often what we wish for is not what's best for us. Perhaps there was, and I'm answering your question now, why didn't it happen yet? Part of the reason it didn't happen yet is because you need it to happen. You believe you need it to happen and you're too attached to it. When we are so hanging on to something, what happens is it's like squeezing onto water. And you might, Casey, not believe me because you might be so used to living this way that you don't recognize how tightly you're holding on. But what I see in you and what Spirit is showing me they see is that you hang on to these things. You hang on to the things like we all do that make you feel secure at the time. And they give you relief. But they're not always true. This isn't, it's not always true. And sometimes when messages come in for people for me about specific dates and times, and then those people cling to that, which is the number one reason why I don't like giving predictions, is because when the people hang on to it so tight, it's like trying to hold water. What happens to the water? The water leaks out of your hand and runs down your arm, right? It gets away. You can't hold water. So remember that every single thing, Casey, is energy. Everything is energy. You can't, when you hold on to it, it will go away. It will slip away. When you try to hold on to a person, or you try to hold on to being 30 years old, or you try to hold on to your kids not growing up and try to keep them little, what happens? They slip away. Okay? So this has come through for you before, and I'm going to remind you of this. Okay? The very best thing you can do is to stop getting attached to outcomes and dates. You got to stop that, whether it be a house, a move, a relationship with your children, a date. You've got to learn to let go, which is so interesting because remember the message that Spirit brought through first today in the very beginning was what? It was letting go. That was the message that Spirit brought through today. And remember, I said it will have a message for each of you. I think a big part of that, Casey, was for you. So that tells me Spirit is looking out for you, Casey, okay? The other thing you got to understand, Casey, is that interpretation is a huge part of messages that come through for Spirit, a huge part, and that doesn't make them less valid. The 13th might have been the next step energetically for your wish. Or you might also want to understand that you got to be careful what you wish for. What you might be wishing for might not be what's in your best interest or the other people involved. Okay. So you don't always have to know all the exact answers, but what you do need to start doing. Okay. Hi, Jemmy. I see you. What you do need to start doing. Hi, Carrie and Kristen. Is Spirit really, 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 really wants you to make these internal shifts. Because until you make the internal shifts, the external things that will bring you the feelings and experiences that you want cannot come to you. Because everything's a reflection of you, Casey. Everything's a reflection of you. Okay? So Spirit loves you. Things are working out for you. The reason you have the wishes that you have is because it will bring you the peace and the happiness that you're wanting. Okay? But understand that may not look exactly the way you think it looks. Okay. So you need to stop hanging on to dates and outcomes that are the idea manifestation of the way you want to feel. And this is very important. So I hope you're listening and taking this to heart. You need to instead put the way you want to feel out there. And you need to ask yourself, how can I be the version of myself that would already have received the way I want to feel? And you have to start, we manifest who and what we are. So you have to wake up in the morning and say, how can I be the best version of me that it is in alignment with not necessarily the tangible manifestations you want, but the state that you want to feel, the peace, the love, the joy, the relaxation. Okay. And then trust the universe, trust your angels, trust your spirit guides, give them a chance to deliver it and stop measuring it. Because as in The Secret, they described as soon as you start to measure your manifestations, they go back down under the ground and disappear. Okay? This has to happen. This is a leap of faith you have to make, Casey, for these things to work out. Okay? So I am so glad you asked me this today because Spirit had that very, very important message for you coming through. Okay? And it's a very powerful message they just gave you. Okay? Mwah. I love you so much. All right. Let's see. Lisa Joe, I always learn something when I catch you. Excellent. Well, that's what it's about. It's about you guys learning. Okay. Let's see here. Carrie, I appreciate the way that you work, Larkin. I love the general wisdom to share in addition to the personalized readings. Good. I'm so glad because that's what Spirit wants you to get. So thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that so much. Let's see here. Hi, Keith. Welcome. Yeah, I think you've shown up a couple times and not gotten a message. So let's see, Keith. Let's see. I want to get Casey's response here first. I understand, Larkin. I live in an awful place and people, so I tend to be anxious and move. Sorry to go about it, Larkin. Bless you. No, don't. No. It's okay to go on about it. It's your process. Okay. So now it's time for you to make a shift, Casey, and you got this. Just keep coming back and asking your questions, and Spirit will keep coming through me with reminders. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Keith. Let's see here. Don't forget, Melody Hart. I'm going to be doing Furball Friday on Friday. So if you want a message from your animals, you can come then if you don't get one today. Okay. So Keith, is there anything specific? I'm starring some messages here, guys. Keith, is there anything specific that you would like to hear or that you're interested in knowing, Keith, or are you just wanting a general reading? You're welcome, Melody. Let's see here. All right, I'm going to shuffle cards for you, Keith, and we'll see what's going on with you as well. Keith, do you know there is somebody, guys, and they may or may not come through today. They may end up coming through tomorrow. They may be here for whoever's on tomorrow. You want to hear from your dad. Awesome. So I have a question for you then, Keith. I was going to ask you, do you know anyone in spirit whose name starts with a C? There's someone in spirit today, guys, whose name starts with a C. Who's in spirit. It's the name that's coming through first. So I don't know if it's Carla or if it's Carmen or if it's Carl. But there's someone here that's been coming through before I even did the live today whose name starts with a C. So let me know. That may not be for you, Keith. I am pulling a couple cards for you, and then we'll connect to your dad, okay? All right, let's see here. Yes. And sending growth. Okay. All right. Nobody with a C. Okay, that's got to be somebody else. Angel, your partner, Calvin. Okay. All right, we'll come back and check here. I didn't get male, female, any of that. I just got C, and it looked like a CA. That was the name I was getting. All right. All right, guys, hold on. We'll get back to that. Let me do Keith here first. All right. Let's see. So Keith, I want to do some. I pulled a couple cards for you, but I want to do some verification for you, and make sure, because when we start doing mediumship readings, a lot of souls show up, and I want to make sure we've got the right. They don't always come through in the order that you want, so I want to make sure we got the right person matched up to you here. Let's see here. Did he used to carry coins in his pockets or something noisy around in his pockets, Keith? Because the first thing I'm hearing is a lot of like clanking around. I'm hearing like clanking as though walking and the clanking of change, things moving around in pockets. So it was like you could hear somebody coming. So I don't know if it was something like a belt or something, keys or something that he carried on him, or if it was change or something in his pocket. But the first thing when I'm reaching out to connect with your father, Keith, is hearing this clanking and this walking. You don't know? Okay. Hearing this coming forward. And let's see here. And then I'm also getting the number 2 to 3, Keith. For you right now, is the number 2 and 3 relevant to you? How is the number 2 and 3 relevant to you? They often start out with signs and symbols, guys, especially if it is more difficult for them to just come through visually at first or auditorily at first. The number 2 and 3 are coming through for you very strongly. I'm having a side conversation with Spirit to ask in what ways that happens, why the 2 and 3 are relevant. Usually, if they're showing me signs and symbols first, it either means that their passing was unexpected, or there is resistance there for you or the family in terms of their passing. Either it was either, obviously all passings are traumatic, but it was either exceedingly traumatic, or there's an uneasiness and resistance in the fact that the person or people that I'm reading for did not feel that they got the closure that they needed with that person and or passing. Let's see. You get a check every month on the 2nd. Okay. Excellent. All right. I'm going to check just then. We'll see if that's what he's referring to. Also, I see the number 3. So how is the number 3 relevant? It could either have something to do with his passing, or it could be part of a date, part of a birth date. I'm asking them as well. because I want confirmation here. Let's see. And actually, right now, Keith, the figure that is starting to appear for me, 3 is your favorite number. Okay. Excellent. All right. So that is just, they often use numbers to come through as a form of validation, because these are things I would not know. When I'm not around or you're not getting a reading, Keith, numbers and things like that, numbers, colors, things that are your favorite, those are all ways that your dad comes through in order to show you that he's present, right? You don't have to necessarily see him or hear him, but these are signs in which they come through. Hi, Tanya, welcome. Right now, your dad is beginning to show his appearance more to me, as the forms of validations he sent in come through. Again, sometimes they boom, they pop up like this very clearly for me. But if there was some sort of resistance going on, hi, John, welcome. Let's see. Oftentimes, what happens is if there is resistance with someone from whom has been left in this world during a passing, they have a harder time coming through. So if you have really struggled with this, or you felt that you didn't get closure, or if there's someone close to you in your family that didn't get closure, it might be harder for them to come through. Right now, he's coming through to me with khaki pants and a belt and pockets in those pants. He's also wearing, let's see. Hi, Nina. He's also coming through. It looks like he has like a button-down shirt on at the moment that is actually tucked in, Keith. And again, he's rattling when he's walking. He's like clanking when he's walking. And it's either change or keys in his pocket. Did he have, do you know, Keith, did he have a set of keys? Okay, so I'm going to put this out as a precursor, okay? If things aren't relevant to you now, Keith, that is okay. Spirit is reading through me now. Your dad's reading through me now. So what I'm going to want you to do is anything that doesn't make sense and doesn't resonate with you right now will either come through at a future date. I get emails all the time from people or messages saying, oh my God, I didn't know this was relevant. And I got off the reading with you and I found this photograph, or I looked in this drawer and there were all these things in this drawer. Okay. So if it doesn't make sense, you can go to loved ones, ask them, search through pictures, search through items. You will find validation because spirit is always accurate. Okay. Even if I don't know what I'm talking about, what's coming through from spirit is accurate. Okay. So I'm seeing these keys. So were there like sets of keys that he left behind that you guys had to figure out what they went through? And or there are keys that are connected to something relevant. Okay. You don't stay together. Okay. Well, he's showing me these keys are relevant. And then he's also showing me a wooden box. So did you, you don't have to have stayed together. It could be in part of cleaning things out or going through things of his that were his, but he's showing me these keys were relevant. He's also showing me, was there something wooden? It looks like a wooden box, but it's like something, it looks like it could be long and slender, but I'm seeing something wooden. Do you have something wooden that belonged to him, Keith? Something wooden that belonged to your father that he might have given you a long time ago. And also, was it you that did not get the opportunity to say goodbye? Because he's showing me that there's a gap in the closure there. There's a gap in the closure there. Okay. Well, look and see, because maybe that wooden box was somewhere else. But there's also something he's showing me that he gave you that you have, that you were given a long time ago, that is of his, that you have. And he's also showing me that there's some closure that needs to happen still from his passing. Okay. And the other thing is I also see a woman energy, Keith, that is about your age. So do you have a sister or a cousin or something? It looks like she's about your age, but there's a young woman that he's bringing to my attention, that he's also keeping an eye over, that is very significant, that is connected to your father and your father's passing. And there's a very strong energetic connection there. He passed at just the right time. He did stay true to the time that his soul chose to pass, Keith. And he's well and he's busy on the other side. But the key thing is really, really significant. And likewise, he's actually responsible for a lot of keys of connection in non-physical on the other side. So he has, he's fulfilling his purpose there very much as well. But the difficulty that he had coming in first giving validation, because some spirits just boom, 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 they give me tons of physical validation right away. I had to actually work with him to pull him through. And that is usually an indicator that there's a lack of closure, which means there's emotional resistance on either the part of the person I'm reading for, which is you, or family members. Okay, let's see here. Yes, it didn't get to say goodbye. Okay, you're spot on. I have a punch bag he gave me. It has an older sister, 1 year apart. Okay, excellent. Thank you for the validation. I just got huge chills. And what that says to me is that is your dad's thank you to both me and to you for making that validation, because I always ask spirit to give me at least 3 forms of physical validation so I can verify for myself and for those I'm reading for that those are things I would have no way of knowing, so that he can prove to you that it's really him coming through. Okay, that helps build your confidence, which means when this reading's over, you're going to be able to have more confidence in his reading. Okay, in his connection to you. All right. So yeah, he gave you the punching bag. Excellent. All right. So that's probably why I'm seeing a long type cylinder, which was the shape he was showing me. Okay. Often that can get mixed up with the frequency of the wooden box, which there is a wooden box. It's hand carved. So I don't know where that comes into play. Okay. Let's see, your older sister, 1 year apart. Got it. Okay. So first of all, Keith, let's deal with the lack of closure for yourself as well, that you feel you didn't get to say goodbye. Please know that you don't ever have to say goodbye to loved ones that have crossed over, whether they be human or non-human animals. You don't ever have to say goodbye because they're never gone. You will be able to connect and communicate with your dad. Okay, Keith. So your dad, because he knows what you're thinking and feeling all the time, because he knows these challenges that you and your sister have, and he can see and hear and feel you guys, even if it's not that easy for you to connect and receive from him. He's still there. He hasn't gone anywhere. Okay. So remember, your relationship has transformed. It has not ended. That is what spirit tells me to tell you guys when I ask, what do I tell them about the state of their relationship with their loved ones who've crossed over? And spirit said to me, tell them your relationship has not ended. It is merely transformed. So what that says to me is that even though like you are receiving in signs and symbols, that's how he talks to you. Okay. Numbers, songs, things like that. Thoughts that pop into your head that remind you of him. That is him. Okay. After this reading, you're going to have a stronger connection with him, and you're going to be able to actually communicate with him more strongly. Okay. And recognize them. The only difference between me and you, Keith, is that I am more tuned into the subtleties, and you can learn to do that as well. All right. He's actually telling me that I do believe that your sister got more of an opportunity to say goodbye, but she's also struggling with closure as well with your dad. Okay. Your sister has twins. Awesome. And he is keeping a very close eye on her and on her family as well. He tries to get through to her in dreams. He does visit you in dreams as well, but he says that you actually do better picking up on the signs and symbols. You subconsciously pick up on that, whereas she actually does better emotionally getting dreams from him. So those are the two ways that he communicates with you guys. But he wants you to know that you don't have to say goodbye. And so you didn't need to be there to say goodbye, which is why he actually didn't wait for you. He went when his window of opportunity to cross was just perfect. And he knew that he was still going to be able to, he was told as he was crossing over, like, it's okay because you're not going anywhere. And he's not. He's outside of space and time. He's in non-physical, but he's back in his eternal soul body and his spirit energy body. And he is, is close to you as ever, if not closer. All right. Because there's not any egoic barrier. So understand, Keith, when you cross over and your sister, he will be there to greet both of you. All right. He's proud of you both. He is sorry that you have felt this sort of this hole, this lacking, this regret for not getting to say goodbye, but he doesn't want you to regret it at all. Okay. Because you didn't miss anything. He says you didn't miss anything. Okay. You got a chance to feel his touch. Excellent. That's very powerful. Okay. So just know that he is there with you when you are having time alone. If you're sitting on your own or you're walking alone or even just in the car, he tries to get through to you. Okay. Signs and symbols, feelings and thoughts. And he's ever present with you. So just know you can talk to him at any time and that you don't need to say goodbye. Although, if you want to, he can hear you. Okay. Awesome. Hi, V. Montgomery. Hi, Tanya. Thank you, Tanya. That was a lovely reading. All right. So, Keith, I'm going to send you off with your dad. Please know that there's no way I would have known the things that I did share with you. And he tried very hard to give that validation. He's an amazing soul. You will find out more about the keys and the box. He just had to come through with me for me with that now. So you can ask your family about that. It will pop up. You will get that as future validation. Thank you for letting me read for you. And just please keep talking to him. You'll be able to be more and more aware of his presence in your life. Okay. He loves you so much. Okay. Let's see here, guys. I'm going to scroll back up where Spirit asked me to before here first. A second. Hold on, guys. Hi, John. I see you. Hey, Tanya. Okay. Hold on here. Hold on, guys. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling up here where Spirit wanted me to go. Hi, Nina. Welcome. Okay, Martha, may I please have a reading next? So let's see, Martha. Let me scroll down here and see if there's anything else. Hey, Penny, welcome. Your daughter or brother. Okay, we'll see how much time we have, guys. I have 7 minutes. That was a pretty in-depth reading here. Keith says, thank you so much. I needed that. Oh, you're so welcome, Keith. Your father's an amazing soul. He worked very hard to get that through to me. But it should be easier from now on because that resistance of the need to say goodbye is gone now. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Yes, I see you, Angel. All right. I need to get to do this first here. Guys, I have you guys pegged. If you don't get a message from me today, guys, please come back tomorrow at the same time. I try to be thorough. Spirit's trying to get me to go through as fast as I can, but that was also a super thorough one. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to you here, Martha. I was drawn to do Martha next here. Martha, is there something specific that you want to know? Is there something specific you're looking for? Let me go ahead and get a message from your spirit team. Guys, while I'm shuffling this for Martha, I want to let you know that you can always connect with me further on my Facebook page. It's down here in the banner. I have an Awakening Intuition group. I have a Life Before and After Death group you can join. I have an Awakening Your Intuition program that I'm starting up. which is going to be amazing. I have a Meet Your Spirit Guides event coming up July 27th. So if you want to meet your spirit guides, which are part of your spirit team, definitely get on board. You can find it pinned to my Psychic Medium page, okay? But join me again tomorrow, guys, if I don't get to you today, since I only got like 5 minutes left. All right. So, Martha, I see change. I see renewal. I get renewal, and I also get transmutation. Okay, these are huge, and they go together. I'm going to be as efficient as I can so I can try to get to somebody else today as well. So the dragon spirit, so what's happening is you actually have a lot of changes going on right now. So you're in the middle of a lot of great shifts of energy at the moment. And Martha, and these can be kind of turbulent. They can be really, let's see. Thank you, Kristen. I'll see you tomorrow. They can cause a lot of turbulence, right? But remember that challenges are opportunities, obstacles are opportunities. So the changes that are happening, there's a lot of internal and external shifts on the way. If they haven't hit you already, that's okay. You just have to stay still and hang tight. All right. Because those changes are going to bring, I love how Spirit does this. They're going to bring renewal for you. Okay. So the changes are going to bring renewal for you. Martha, which is going to bring transmutation. Okay, now that is powerful stuff. But remember, everything's a process. So it's taking this 3-card process to get you to the transmutation. Okay, and so this is so exciting for me because after all these changes and shifts, what happens is you're going to feel the renewal. Like, you know, when spring comes or there's a new season, or you get a pretty new dress, or you get to go on vacation, or you move into a new house, you have all this exciting renewal happen, right? It's like stepping into spring. It's so exciting. So after you get through all these changes, then the renewal is going to hit you. And with that renewal is going to be a transmutation, which is it's beyond transformation. It's literally living in a new vibrational reality. Okay. And so it's very powerful because transmutation is going to be a whole new version of you. Okay. So Martha, you have a lot to look forward to. I'm asking Spirit inside conversation if they have a time frame for this type of thing, which again, guys, nothing is set in stone, but they're showing me about 8 to 9 months. Okay. So if you can hang through the next few months, especially the fall, get through into the new year, then the renewal and transmutation looks like it's going to be happening for you about in spring. Okay. So spring moving into summer of next year. So that's a beautiful reading, Martha. I love that. Spirit came through very clear for you. Your spirit guides are super powerful with you there today. I made your day. Awesome, Keith. I'm so glad. That was a very powerful reading. All right, guys, let's see. I've got 2 minutes left. I'm going to try to make the most of this. Penny, I do sense your brother and your daughter present. Their energy over here wanting to come through. They know they need to wait. So if you can come back tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Spirit's going to guide me to you because they are there. Okay. So I would definitely come back for that. Because I've only got like a minute and a half left here. And I have so many people I want to read for. Okay. Let's see here. I see you, Tanya. Guys, come back tomorrow. And you can also find me on my Facebook page. I do more readings throughout the week, including Furball Friday. Sarah, let me quick draw 2 cards for you here. Wow. Okay, this is great. In our last 90 seconds here, the bear spirit, which is healing. So in hibernation, the bear can heal, it can rest up, it can recharge, and then we have stability. From that is going to come stability for you. Okay, Sarah. So right now you have some things you need to heal from. You have some mental, emotional healing that needs to happen vibrationally, which is also going to bring a greater physical well-being for you. I see this, this going into the fall. The fall actually is when the bear hibernates, right? Goes into hibernation in the fall for winter. I see that this healing process is going to take you down through fall and winter. So again, just like when we were talking to Martha, what they're showing me is that the stability is going to come on the other side of this healing. Okay. And that stability looks like it's going to start showing up in the end of the spring, summer of next year. So you need to spend this healing time, clearing out, cleaning out, healing, doing whatever you need to do, letting go of old energy and bringing new energy in, so that this stability is going to be what shows up for you this time around next year. Okay, guys, I love you so much. I cannot believe how fast this hour went by. I will be back tomorrow at the same time. Don't forget to like this if you enjoyed it. Veronica has amazing readers all week long, and she'll have some even before me tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see you all on here tomorrow. Don't forget, if you want to connect with me further, my Facebook link is on the banner down here. And have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Mwah. I'll try to get to as many of you as I can tomorrow at the same time. Talk to you all later. Thanks for coming. Bye.